Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to season 4 of B612. Congratulations on being for being one of the very first groups to schedule your quiz, and thus forcing our hand in terms of preparing the set. Some of the questions that you're seeing were made just a few hours ago, so they're fresh off the press. This also means that you're probably going to be seeing far more typos than anybody else in the league will. I guarantee there will be a few. I'll keep noting them down so nobody else has to suffer the way that you are about. Okay. For today's quiz, seat 1 is Matthew, seat 2 is Priyamvadha. Do you prefer that? Do you prefer Priyam? What do you prefer?
Priyamvadha's fine, but we could do Priya if.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And seat 3 is Jim and seat 4 is Srishti. Okay, let's do that. What else? Okay, so regarding the format, since we do have some new players, there's not that much by way of rules. The questions will appear on screen. You'll see them at the bottom over here where you see show current question. The most important rule you need to remember is that you should speak when I say your name or when your name is underlined. So right now, for example, Matthew's name is underlined. That means it's his chance to answer. If your name is not underlined, don't speak at that point. That's pretty much it. If you follow that one rule, the rest of the quiz will just sort of, happen. For direct questions, we'll start off with direct questions for Matthew. We'll have 3 questions for him and move on. For direct questions, you get 30 seconds to answer. I'll give you 10-second, I'll give you a warning at the 10-second mark. For past questions, for example, if Matthew passes and it goes to Priya, Priya will get 5 seconds to answer. However, if you can quickly give me an answer, that's even better. We can wrap up the quiz faster. I try not to be too rigid with timekeeping. I'll only start enforcing it if the quiz starts to lag a little bit. You can also just ignore the clock entirely if you want to. There is a strategy element to the passing, but I think I can explain that better at the end of round 1. For round 1, just remember this. Maybe guess only if you're sure. If you're not sure of the answer, don't guess. Do that only for 1 round, and then at the end of 1 round, I'll tell you how the passing strategy works. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
If everybody is clear with that, we can get started. 3 questions first for Matthew. Which iconic 70s rock band is comprised almost entirely of Lord of the Rings fans? References to Tolkien's works find their way into many of their songs, with Ramble On paraphrasing a poem originally written in the Elvish tongue of Kenya. Fun fact, the lead singer's dog's name is Strider.
The Grateful Dead.
It's not Grateful Dead. Priya?
Pass.
Pass is Jim.
Led Zeppelin.
It is Led Zeppelin.
That's my first thought, and then I changed my mind. I don't know why.
Question for Matthew again. A 1998 TV series on ZTV starring Ashutosh Gowariker as the title character Wo was a retelling of the story of which 1986 horror novel?
It.
It is right. Every time I do one of these quizzes, I get the pleasure of watching Matthew figure out an Indian question. Well done.
Is he holding a cricket ball?
Yes, he is holding a cricket ball.
Looks like a kookaburra.
Yes. Question for Matthew again. This clip from a late 2000s viral video appears to show which player knocking a bottle off the head of a volunteer on the sets of a Gillette ad. He has never expressly admitted that the video was fake, commenting, not saying that a magician doesn't tell how his tricks work. I'm just going to reshare with audio this time. Sorry about that. So,
Han.
not that. Yeah.
Is this Arthur Ashe?
It's not Arthur Ashe. Srishti?
Pass.
Pass is Jim.
Roger Federer.
It is Roger Federer. Question for Priya now. Sonda Rhimes is a screenwriter and producer best known as the showrunner of which TV medical drama that premiered in 2005? The name is a pun on the name of a classic textbook, as well as the name of the lead character played by Ellen Pompeo. Co-actors include Sandra Oh, Catherine Heigl, and Patrick Dempsey.
Grey's Anatomy.
It is Grey's Anatomy. Well done. Question for you again. This is artist Omar Rodriguez's minimalist version of the cover of the August 1991 issue of Vanity Fair. The cover features which pregnant actress in the nude, photographed by celebrated photographer Annie Leibovitz?
Is this Beyonce?
It's not Beyonce. Srishti?
Jennifer Aniston.
It's not Jennifer Aniston. Matthew?
Demi Moore.
It is Demi Moore. You can see a picture
Didn't
of her here.
Beyonce also have a nude pregnancy photo shoot at some point?
You're right. Yes, she does have a very famous
1991. Yeah.
Okay, this is Demi Moore.
question for Priya. Letters in the Braille alphabet are grouped in sets of 10 and assigned a pattern of dots as shown. The first decade, that is letters A to J, use only the upper 4 dots and also stand for digits 1 to 9 and 0. Patterns with the fewest dots are assigned to the first 3 letters, that is A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, and also to the vowels in this part of the alphabet. While the even digits 4, 6, 8, 0, they are corners or right angles. I want you to tell me what letter of the alphabet or what digit does this pattern stand for?
Pass. I
Pass.
don't have the brain capacity to work this out.
Srishti?
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Yeah, I feel like the clues are there, but pass.
Pass to Jim.
Pass.
Pass.
Passes. So the vowels have the fewest number of dots. This one has just 2. So you're looking for a vowel and you're looking specifically in the 9th place. So this is an I, or the numeral 9.
Oh,
It's
I
actually
see.
fairly simple.
You can see the E also has 2 dots, and A, B, C all have the fewest number of dots. So, okay, question for Jim now. A score of 8-0, the biggest rout in Champions League history, was witnessed in 2 matches: Real Madrid's 2015 demolition of Malmo and a 2007 game between Liverpool and which Turkish club? This Istanbul-based club was the first registered sports club in the country and is considered one of the big 3 clubs of Turkish football. It is named after the district located on the European shore of the Bosphorus Strait and plays its home games at Vodafone Stadium.
Bosphorus Juniors Club.
Not that. Steve?
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Galatasaray.
It's not that. Yeah.
Pass.
Passes. This club is called Besiktas.
Besiktas. Oh, yes.
I would add more, but I know nothing about football, so I don't want to go in this. Question for Jim. Childish Gambino's video for Feels Like Summer features cameos by many other black artists. In this part of the video, Travis Scott is seen toppling Who's Blocks. This is most likely a reference to their beef, sparked when she accused Travis of using his girlfriend Kylie Jenner to increase his album sales and beating her own single Queen to the US #1 in the process.
Cardi B.
It's not Cardi B. Shashi?
Nicki Minaj.
It is Nicki Minaj. Well done.
Mm.
Question for Jim again. In military tactics, what term is used to describe the movement of an armed force around enemy force's side to achieve an advantageous position over it? The enemy force's strength is typically concentrated in its front, so circumventing the front and instead attacking its blank is effectively concentrating your offense in the area where the enemy is least able to concentrate their defense.
Flanking.
It's called the flanking maneuver. And questions now for Srishti. When the Ada computer language was under development, the versions of the requirement documentation were named in ascending stages of development, with names like Pebbleman, Stoneman, etc. What was the name of the 4th stage document in this sequence? It shares its name with the character who is similarly iterative in his suit usage, going from Mark 1 to Mark 85 over the period of 1963 to 2022.
Iron Man.
It's Iron Man.
Yes.
Question for Srishti. In his book Masala Lab, Krish Ashok provides an interesting visualization of spice blends with the font sizes roughly corresponding to the proportions of each spice in the mix, which desi spice blend, as at the end of cooking, is depicted thus. We'd like the Hindi name, although you can give it in an accent if you prefer.
Tadka.
It's not Tadka. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to take a guess for the heck of it. Is this asafoetida or however you pronounce it?
It's not that. It's not lean. Matthew,
Pass.
pass it to Jim.
Garam masala.
I got it in an accent. It's garam masala. Well done.
Oh,
Oh, I would have said that, but I just
Oh.
didn't know what the question was saying.
Didn't notice that at the end.
Nicely done. And last question for round one. Which print, actually the method of weaving which results in such reversible designs, originated in China in the 5th century BC? It got its present English name from a trading city it used to pass through on the Silk Route connecting to Europe.
Chicken curry?
Not that. Matthew,
Pass.
pass to Priya.
just Afghan weaving, something Kabul weaving, something.
Not that. Jim.
Pass.
This is
Yeah,
called Damask.
Damas. Oh, that
Damascus.
again would have been my guess. That again would have been my guess. I'm not saying the right things.
Okay, well, at the end of round one, I think I'll just take a minute to explain bonus attempts. So you may notice as we ask these questions that the passing order is not static, it keeps changing. And it keeps changing because it's in order of bonus attempts. A bonus attempt is when you attempt somebody else's question. Okay, so for example, the next 3 questions are going to be Matthew's, but if they pass, then Srishti can try it, Priya can try it, and so on. Every time you try somebody else's question, it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong, your bonus attempts will go up. So for example, you can see Priya has tried somebody else's questions 3 times so far, and Srishti has done it twice, and so on. So that just decides where you are in the passing order. So what this means is the more you attempt, the further back you'll get pushed in the passing order. Okay. If you want to think of the strategy aspect of it, I would just say this. During the quiz, watch your bonus attempts. If it seems to be lower than everybody else's, that means you can guess more. And it seems to be higher than everybody else's, then maybe you want to hold back your guesses and not take too many chances. That's about it. Okay, we'll start round 2. Question for Matthew. This is Omar Rodriguez's minimalist version of the cover of the April 1968 issue of Esquire. The cover features Holmes in the style of the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian for his conscientious objection to the Vietnam War and the subsequent stripping of his titles.
Muhammad Ali.
It's Muhammad Ali. Question for Matthew again. In this part of Gambino's Feels Like Summer, Birdman can be seen at the grill, while Chance the Rapper encourages a child in a superhero outfit. Who is this child, now 24 years old, who made his film debut in 2006 with his father, who also features in the video? I need the full name.
Oh. Can't remember his
10
name.
seconds.
Yeah. Full name.
I need an answer.
Jaden Smith.
And you are right. This is Jaden Smith.
Oh, I couldn't remember his first name. So glad that
Nice.
was his first name.
Nicely done. And your third question, 10,000 yards of which print was exported to the USA in 1958 without proper washing instructions, leading to the color bleeding and fading? Advertising legend David Ogilvy then coined the phrase guaranteed to bleed and used this as a selling point rather than a defect. It gets its name from the old name of a city where the East Indian Company first set up a trading post for it.
Oh, God. Madras.
It is Madras.
Oh, wow.
Well, hold on. I gotta knock a thing out here. Good. It's gonna.
Okay, question for Priya. What was the name of the first stage requirement stock for the ADA programming language? It shares its name with an American business jargon for a crude proposal whose purpose is to generate discussion about the features and flaws in itself so as to improve on the brainstormed idea. While most prominent in consulting, it is also encountered in engineering office culture, in software development, and in iterative designing.
No, I work in none of these fields, so I have no clue. Pass.
Pass it to Srishti.
Is it alpha?
It's not that. Matthew.
No, I'm gonna pass.
Pass to Jim.
Pass.
Passes. So do you remember what the answer for the previous question in this quad was? The other programming language?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. This one is straw man. So
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure there were other ways to phrase this question that didn't rely on knowledge of engineering office culture.
it's possible. Yeah,
Well, we don't call it that.
in the first draft, there was actually a farm clue, but we removed that. And it's probably
Oh,
should have.
farm clue. That would have been fun.
Yeah. So it
Straw
and it
man
does.
from Wizard of Oz or something.
Yeah, and it does help if you for
Mm.
example keep track of which quad a particular question belongs to. It might help you with the question. You can't always identify which quad, but it helps. Question for Priya now. One of the key facets that became associated with Impressionism, is a move away from the existing practice for painting landscapes and towards a new practice that became known as en plein air. What is this new practice referring to?
On plain air, as in plain air, literally. Right. Or like, does this have to do? Does this have to do with landscapes no longer being as realistic, having to be as realistic
Okay.
as?
It's not that, Matthew.
Painting outside rather than in the studio.
It is correct. This is painting
Oh, wow.
outdoors as
Oh,
opposed
that
to.
was nice.
So, question for Priya. Fill in the blank in this lyric excerpt from the Led Zeppelin song "The Battle of Evermore." The blank may be considered the English name for the characters from Lord of the Rings. The pain of war cannot exceed the woe of the aftermath. The drums will shake the castle wall. The blank ride in black ride on.
It's just the Nazgul red and black.
I can prompt you. I need a so prompt means that I need a slightly different answer. You are allowed to correct the
Angmar,
answer.
the Witch King of Angmar.
It's not what I'm looking for. Jim,
Pass.
pass it to Srishti.
Pass.
Pass it to Matthew.
No, I've got to pass.
Can I take another guess? Is this
Yes.
as simple as the 9 ride and black ride on? Is it?
It's not, however, I'm pretty sure you will recognize the answer. We're looking for the English name, so we were looking for ring rates, is what shows up in.
Oh, ring race.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I didn't say Black Riders. I thought the Black Riders ride in black would be the worst lyric ever.
It's bad luck. Nazgul would have been just as acceptable an answer, but the lyric, unfortunately, is incorrect. Question for Jim. Sonda Rhimes is also the showrunner of which TV political thriller, airing from 2012 to 18? It features Kerry Washington as Olivia Pope, partially based on Judy Smith, a crisis manager and press aide for George H.W. Bush, though the show's title is more associated with Bush's son.
Scandal.
It is Scandal.
Nice.
Question for Jim. Which war slogan was made famous on propaganda posters by Maurice Dumont, most notably used by France in World War I to express the determination to defend a position against an enemy? A slight variation of the phrase was also used in a 1954 epic fantasy work written by a World War I veteran who saw action in France, as well as in its popular movie adaptation.
The Thin Red Line.
It's not that. Srishti?
Less miserably.
It's not that. Matthew?
They shall not pass. No passaran.
Is correct. It's you shall not pass or they shall not
Okay.
pass.
That's one answer I knew from Lord of the Rings, yes.
I could see Priya waiting for it, but it was unlikely to reach that.
But it
Question.
was a good question.
Thank you. Question for Jim. In Krish Ashok's Masala Lal, which Middle Eastern spice blend is depicted thus? It is used as a seasoning for meats, vegetables, and hummus, eaten with bread and olive oil for breakfast, and sometimes used as the outer coating for sunkslish balls made of labneh cheese.
Tahini.
It's not tahini. Priya?
Pass.
Passes to Srishti. Passes to Matthew.
I better pass.
Passes. What were you going to say, Matthew?
Russell and Newt. I don't know. Probably
It's
not that.
Radha.
Zatar. Oh yes, I bought some of that. Oh no.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Question.
Actually,
Srishti. We is an influential dystopian novel written in 1921 in Russian by Yevgeny Zamyatin and first translated to English in 1924. Kurt Vonnegut claimed that he cheerfully ripped off his debut novel from which 1932 novel, which he claimed had cheerfully ripped off We.
War and Peace.
All right, Priya?
Pass.
Passes to Jim.
Pass.
Passes to Matthew.
Solaris.
It's not that. So the clue is just in dystopian. How many dystopian novels can you think of right now? In
Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Oh.
Ah, I thought that one.
Question for Srishti. This clip from a late 2000s viral video appears to show which player trying out his new Nike shoes and repeatedly making contact with the crossbar. He has never admitted to the video being fake and in fact appeared in a 2018 recreation where he promptly performed the trick again.
Ronaldo.
That, Priya?
Pass.
Jim?
Roberto Carlos.
Not Roberto Carlos. Matthew?
Pass.
Passes.
Can I take
So,
another guess?
yes.
Is this Nadal? Just because the previous answer was Federer.
It's not Nadal, but Srishti got closest. It's this guy's name is also actually Ronaldo, but it's actually Ronaldinho. He's the younger Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Question for Srishti. Sondarines is the producer of the 2014 to 20 TV legal thriller. I did fix this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll fix this later. For her performance as Annalise Keating, a criminal defense attorney and law professor, Viola Davis became the first Black woman to win the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Is correct. Give me a second because I think I still have the old file. I'll just fix that. Question now for Matthew. General Anthony Clement McAuliffe earned fame as the acting commander for defending Bastogne in Belgium during the Battle of the Bulge in World War II. He celebrated for his one-word response to a German ultimatum demanding that the Allied army surrender. The selection of words was typical of McAuliffe, who generally avoided profanity and had to be explained to the German generals as being roughly equivalent to go to hell. What word is it? And please say it with full passion and emotion.
Nuts.
Nuts is right. I could see that you had the answer ready. So well done. Question for Matthew. Liverpool achieved their breakthrough against Besiktas in the 19th minute, thanks to which player slotting in a rebound, who would also go on to score the 8th goal of the match. Now retired from football, he still holds the record for scoring the most headed goals in the Premier League. His autobiography is titled Walking Tall, My Story, and he would most probably have to blank to meet most of us eye to eye.
Crouch.
It's Peter Crouch.
Yeah.
Question for Matthew. The ritual passion level in the game Tetris Effect is a representation of a Balinese dance performance. This hour-long dance is usually performed daily at temples like Uluwatu and Tanalot. Listen carefully and identify the music.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to help me. Gamelan.
Not that? Fair?
Pass.
Jim?
Pass.
Steve?
Pass.
This is a tough one, but they are kind of saying it. It's hard to hear. They're saying Kechak, which is the Balinese dance performance. It's typically performed in Diwali. So happy Diwali to all of you.
Jack. Okay. Happy Diwali.
Question to Priya. In military tactics, what term describes the simultaneous attacking of both sides of an enemy formation? It is a classic maneuver used most famously by Hannibal at the Battle of Cana in 2016 BC. Oh, sorry, 216 BC. A completed maneuver can result in the attacking army facing the enemy in front, on both sides, and on the rear, effectively encircling the enemy. Sun Tzu argues against using this tactic in Art of War, as the target enemy would fight with more ferocity when surrendered.
Pass. Heard of this,
Pass.
can't remember it.
Pass.
Passes to Srishti.
Yes.
Passes to Matthew.
Pincer movement.
Called the pincer formation or the pincer maneuver.
Oh, like a crab. Oh, that makes sense.
Question for Priya. Another cameo in Gambino's Feels Like Summer features one of the first true viral rappers giving a talk to the new generation. Who is this artist whose viral hit from 2008 came with the dance fad that was described by Wall Street Journal as follows? Dancers bounce back on their heels, ripple their hands, blank their wrists like motorcyclists, then lunge into a Superman pose. The blank is not in the name, but would be a big clue. Yeah. 10 seconds.
Is this okay? This is wrong, but is this Travis McCoy
Not that.
off
Jim.
the top of my head?
Pass.
Srishti.
Soldier Boy?
It is Soldier Boy. You know the blank as well?
Oh,
Do you know the blank as well?
No, I guessed it from Superman pose.
Soldier Boy's famous song. It's oh, what is it?
I think it's called Crank That. I think cranking their wrists.
Oh,
Crank. Crank.
Question for Priya. Him is a play written by Christopher Walken, who also played the lead role when it was adapted for stage. Who does the titular him refer to?
any other clues for this? No. Okay. This is Jesus.
It's not Jesus. Jim?
Elvis Presley.
It's Elvis Presley. So the hairstyle
The
you
hair.
mentioned was
Yeah.
the only clue. Question for Jim. This is Omar Rodriguez's minimalist version of the cover of the June 1994 issue of Time. The cover story, An American Tragedy, was accompanied by whose mugshot on the cover? After it was revealed that the photo had been artificially darkened to make him look more menacing, Time publicly apologized for racist editorializing.
O.J. Simpson.
It is O.J. Simpson. Question for Jim. The Impressionism movement gets its name from a satirical review of Claude Monet's painting Impression Sunrise, where the reviewer called it a sketch at best. Which port city in the Normandy region is actually the subject of this painting? The city is home to the world's second largest collection of Impressionist paintings.
Le Havre.
Right? Well, this might be a tough one, but nope. Question for Jim again. The next 10 letters, that is the second decade of the Braille alphabet, K to T, are identical to A to J respectively, apart from the addition of a dot in position 3, that is bottom left and shown in red. What letter of the alphabet does this Braille pattern stand for?
N as in Nancy.
It is correct. This is N.
It's much easier when you know what's going on.
Question for
Yeah.
Srishti. A more recent epic battle taunt happened in February 2022 when the Russian missile cruiser Moskva approached Snake Island, a tiny Ukrainian island in the Black Sea, manned by a contingent of just 13 border guards, and sent this communication. Snake Island, I blank. Repeat the offer. Put down your arms and surrender, or you will be bombed. Have you understood me? How did the Ukrainian border guard respond? Recordings of the exchange have gone viral, and now the phrase is widely used as a rallying cry by both the Ukrainian military and civilians protesting the invasion.
Never.
You say that again, please?
Never.
Not that. Yeah.
I know this. I know this. Is this Russian warships go fuck yourselves or something?
Absolutely right. It is Russian warship. Go fuck yourselves. It is now the rallying cry for this. We are also taking a PG-13 version if you need to, but you did not need that. Question for Srishti. What term describes a military formation in which units are arranged diagonally? Each unit is positioned just behind and to the right or left of the unit ahead. The name comes from the French word meaning a rung of a ladder, which describes the shape of the formation when viewed from above. Ten seconds.
You can pass.
Pass this to Priya. Pass it to Jim.
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Echelle or echelon.
Is good enough. This is echelon or echelon. So when you say upper echelon, you're talking about the rungs of a ladder. Well done. Question for Srishti. The Impressionist movement got its name in part thanks to some of its works getting rejected from the Salon Jury exhibitions due to supposed gross indecency. Which 1860s painting that combined realism and impressionism, exhibited at the Salon des Diffuse, brought the movement a lot of attention by doing one small thing, placing a nude woman between two men?
You can pass.
Pass to Priya.
Pass.
Pass to Jim.
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Déjeuner sur l'herbe, luncheon on the grass.
Thank you for giving me the English version. I do have the French version as well, but I would not know what it sounds like. So thank you for that.
Man, when I hear impressionism, I think of Monet, not Manet. So like
Apparently both.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting information to know about.
Question for Matthew. Which historical romance series was produced by Shonda Rhimes' production house Shondaland and features marriageable elite youth debuting in England's social season? It was the most watched original series launched on Netflix before being surpassed by Squid Game.
Bridgerton.
It is Bridgerton. For Matthew again. What is the name of the fifth stage requirements document for the ADA programming language? An oddity in the Ascending series, it is the more popular name of a Hans Christian Andersen character called Old Lokoje, meaning Old Close Eye, and also featured in the title of a 90s metal song about children's nightmares.
Sandman.
Sandman is right. The song would be Enter Sandman, and this Old Close Eye is basically Sandman being a dream god. Question for Matthew. One of the pioneers of the Impressionist movement, Camille Pissarro, later dabbled in what technique that he co-championed with Paul Signac? The painting pictured here is an example of this specific technique, although the most famous example of this style of painting is a work by George Seurat.
Pointillism.
Is correct. This is pointillism. Question for Priya. Famous amongst battle taunts is the laconic phrase attributed to Leonidas I, king of the Spartans, on the eve of the Battle of Thermopylae in the 5th century BC. The exchange between Leonidas and Xerxes I of the Persians happened in writing. Xerxes had written numerous times already, and the last message was simply hand over your arms. How did he respond? You can give us the English translation or the original Greek for imaginary extra credit.
Just taking a very wild guess. Is this over my dead body?
Oh, nice guess, but not that. Jim?
Tonight we dine in hell.
Oh, not that. Srishti?
Never gonna make it now.
Pass it to Matthew.
Something like come and take them, or
Is correct.
maybe not.
Come and take them.
Nice.
I should know the Greek, but I molon labe. Okay, yep.
Question for Priya. In the 69th minute of the Besiktas match, Steven Gerrard put another one away for Liverpool. This was after a hat-trick scored by which player? Playing as an attacking midfielder, he became the first player to score hat-tricks in the Premier League, FA Cup and UEFA Champions League. Identified this diamond from Dimona, who is also Israel's most capped player.
Pass.
Pass to Srishti.
Pass.
Pass to Jim.
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Think I know an Israeli midfielder. Pass.
Passes. His name is Yossi Benayoun.
Okay.
Question for Priya. This clip from a 2000s viral video appears to show which player placing his Diet Pepsi on the ground in order to kick 3 footballs in a row directly into 3 distant trash cans. Far from admitting that the video was fake, when asked whether it was real, he replied, "Of course, I spent 5 or 6 hours on the beach, so I had a lot of time to practice."
Oh man, this is not happening. This is not happening. Oh no 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 no! Yes!
Pass.
Pass to Srishti.
Shane won.
It's not Shane Warne. Jim.
David Beckham.
It's David Beckham.
It looked like his hair. I was going to say that.
Question for Jim. Which print, usually comprising of solid diamonds overlaid with intercrossing diagonal lines, derives its name from a town in Scotland because it was used as the tartan of the clan Campbell of the town. It is used in sports uniforms such as the Belgian football team's jersey.
Argyle.
Argyle is right. Question for Jim. This clip from an early 2000s viral video appears to show which player apparently making 5 full court shots in a row. This one was a pretty clear Powerade commercial from the very beginning, although many believe that the player in question would have no trouble actually making the shots in reality too.
That's a 90-footer. That is amazing. Oh my.
LeBron James.
It is LeBron James. You can see the number 23 in the video. Well done. Question for Jim again. Which 1887 novel, subtitled A History of Adventure, is about a mysterious white queen in Africa named Aisha, who reigns as the all-powerful blank who must be obeyed?
She.
She is right. You've been paying attention to the quad. Well done. This is she following we and it and him. Well done. Question for Srishti. The third decade of the Braille alphabet is again identical to the first, but with additional dots in positions 3 and 6. However, the letter W is out of place and has only position 6 dotted without position 3. What is the historical reason for W being tacked on in this manner?
Does it have something to do with it being the inversion of M?
Okay, not that clear.
I was thinking along those lines too. Pass.
That's Jim.
The original French doesn't have W. He was
Correct.
French Braille. Yeah.
Absolutely right. The French alphabet did not contain a W back when Braille was created. You got the answer perfectly, right? Well done. Question for Srishti.
Thanks.
Ishaq performance and narration traces the story from Sita's abduction in the Dandaka forest all the way to the final battle with Ravan. The performers are divided into 2 groups. The smaller one consisting of role-playing non-chanters, while the larger group can consist of 50 to 150 chanters, all bare-chested males wearing a checkered loincloth. Whom does this larger group represent from the story?
The Vanar Sena?
Is correct. This is the Vanar Sena or the Monkey Army.
Oh, nice.
In this segment of Gambino's Feels Like Summer, which pioneer of the trap subgenre is lying idly on the grass, perhaps in a nod to his then recent transformation? This rapper was rather aptly onboarded by an Italian fashion house as their brand ambassador after his complete body and image revamp following harassment allegations.
Drake?
Not right, Priya?
Is this
None.
Skrillex? I mean,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just realized how dumb that was when I said it. Yeah.
Jim?
Pass.
Pass to Matthew.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Pass.
Passes. So I think the only real clue in this question is the Italian fashion house. And it's apt because his name is Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane. Oh no. Yeah. Aptly onboarded. Oh.
Okay, we're into the final round. There are two battles going on, one for top position between Matthew and Jim, and one for position 3. Yeah, Srishti. Let's see where this goes. Questions first for Matthew. Which spice blend used in all branches of Chinese cooking is depicted thus in Krish Ashok's Masala Lab? We are looking for the descriptive English name, a translation of the local name Wujiang Fen.
Five spice.
Is correct. This is 5 spice powder. Question for Matthew again. The Braille alphabet, as originally devised by Louis Braille, is in 1829, had 9 decades instead of the modern 4 or 5, covering numerals, special characters, and plenty of space for new additions. The 5th through 9th decades used an extra symbol in addition to dots, but Braille recognized these as being impractical as they were difficult to distinguish from dots in practice. What extra symbol was it which may remind you of a different system of encoding?
Dashes.
Is correct. This dots and dashes was what original Braille looked like. This is what it looked like. But if you're feeling them up, then they'll feel very similar, which is why we were dropped.
Oh, wow.
And last direct question for Matthew. In military tactics, what term is used to describe an order when an attacking army focuses its forces to attack a single enemy flank? The commander would concentrate their strength on one flank and uses the remainder to fix the enemy line. This allows a commander with a weaker or equal force to achieve a local superiority in numbers and secure the critical flank, after which they can turn 90 degrees and roll up the enemy line.
Ooh. A pin.
It's not a pin, clear?
This battering.
It's not that. Srishti?
Pass.
Last Jim?
Enfilade.
It's not that. This is called the
Could be
oblique
like
or the declined flank. Question for Priya. Although traditionally an all-male performance, some of the core roles in Kichak are sometimes performed by women. They play core gentle characters like Ram, Sita, and Lakshman, amongst others. There is another character which females portray towards the beginning of the performance, a role which requires graceful, smooth, and agile movements. Which one-act character is this? Ten seconds.
Pass.
Srishti?
Kekai.
Not that. Jim?
Pass.
Pass Matthew?
Pass.
What one act character?
Passes. So you're looking for a character that was involved in the abduction of Sita. His name is Maricha. He basically disguised himself as the golden deer.
Oh, right.
Question for Priya. Which print gets its name from a town in Scotland where it was mass produced after being imported from India, especially in the form of Kashmir shawls? They use the almond-shaped boutte design and the teardrop-shaped buta design. Give us the English name.
I know like 2 Scottish towns. This is Aberdeen.
Not that. Srishti?
Edinburgh.
Not that. Jim?
Paisley.
Paisley is correct. Question for Priya. Which North African spice blend used in many savory dishes, stirred into couscous and rice, and sometimes rubbed on meats, is depicted thus in Krish Ashok's Masala Lab? Its name means head of the shop in Arabic and implies a mixture of the best spices on offer.
Pass.
Pass it, Srishti.
Pass.
Pass it to the man who's been waiting for it.
Yeah, this is Ras Al Hanout.
This one is Ras Al.
What I said for Zat. So what I said for Zatar.
Done. And 3 questions.
Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Yes.
You should have said nuts.
Jim, I muted you. Sorry. Could you unmute yourself?
All right.
Okay, question for Jim. Blank Blank Hop, fill in the blank, is in this title of a song from Led Zeppelin's 4th untitled album, with a location from Middle Earth. This range was thrown up by the Dark Lord Melkor in the first age to impede Orom, one of the Valars who often hunted in Middle Earth.
Misty Mountain.
He is absolutely right. Question for Jim. What was the name of the 3rd stage requirements document for the ADA programming language? It shares its name with the Heartless character from a novel published in 1900. A political interpretation of this character is a worker dehumanized by rapidly growing industrialization. Ten seconds.
Tin Man. Tin Man.
Is correct. And there's the Wizard of Oz clue that Priya wanted. It's right there. It is
Yeah.
Tin Man.
I was thinking of Wizard of Oz from the time Strawman was mentioned.
And the 3rd direct question for Jim. The Ketchak performance often employs the use of trance rituals to add to the thrill. A priest enters the performance and blesses a particular actor, who then enters a state of trance, which causes him to become impervious to pain. It is in this state that he can do justice to a particularly destructive scene. What scene is this that would require him to cause chaos?
The burning of the village.
I can prompt you, I think. I'll need a couple of names.
Oh.
Gonna be
Shiva the Destroyer burning the village of, I don't know, the others. The
Okay, I will put you out of your misery. It's not that, Jim.
Again, just to figure this out, is this when I know this is wrong, but anyway, when Sita has to undergo the trial by fire?
Okay, it's not that. Srishti
The burning of Lanka by Hanuman.
is correct. This is Hanuman burning Lanka.
oh,
Yeah, I should have gone for that when I saw he in the question.
Oh, Lanka.
Okay, and we're on to the last 3 questions of the quiz. They're all for Srishti. This is Omar Rodriguez's minimalist version of the cover of the January 1981 issue of Rolling Stone. The cover photo of a naked man and his clothed lover was taken the previous month by Annie Leibovitz, just 5 hours before the man was killed. Who was the man?
Kurt Cobain.
It's not Kurt Cobain. Yeah.
it's for me. I didn't see.
Question is for Priya, right?
Priya.
Yeah, pass.
Passes to Matthew.
There's a man who has the same birthday as me, John Lennon.
It is John Lennon. He died in December 1980. Okay, last 2 questions. Complete these lyrics from Ramble On by Led Zeppelin in Led Zeppelin 2. The first blank is a place in Middle Earth, and the second is a character who underwent a drastic transformation thanks to the One Ring. You can fill either blank. It was in the darkest depths of blank, I met a girl so fair, but blank and the evil one crept up and slipped away with her, yeah.
Column.
Column is one of them. Do you know the other one?
No.
The other one,
Mariah.
Mordor.
Mordor.
In the darkest depths of Mordor, Gollum and the evil one crept up. Okay, and the last question for today's quiz is for Srishti again. Late in the second half of the Besiktas match, which winger came off the bench to net 2 goals in the 78th and 81st minutes? His surname is also the Hebrew name for the capital city of an ancient empire. A city famous for an incomplete structure that caused confusion when people suddenly stopped understanding each other.
Just guessing. Can I try to guess the city?
Yeah, so I need the name of the winger, and his surname happens to be the name of the city as well. So you can guess.
Babylon?
I can prompt you, I think.
Okay. Sorry, what does that mean?
So you could slightly correct your answer if you want to.
So a different name for the city?
I can't specify it. Do you have an answer?
Constantinople?
Okay, not that. Priya?
No.
Pass.
Fast Jim.
Babel.
It's the Tower of Babel. So Babel is the Hebrew name for Babylon. And
Oh,
you did figure out the empire, I think, but his name was unfortunately Ryan Babel, so we can't take anything else. And that completes the quiz. Matthew wins at 20 points. Close battle with Jim at 18 points. In positions 3 and 4 are Srishti and Priya at 7 and 2 points respectively. Well done, folks.
All right, thank you. Very nice quiz.
Yeah. Thank you.
sorry, fine.
See you.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Right.